Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your brother in the struggle, in the spiritual struggle, ladies and gentlemen. Coming right back at you with another video. Now, before I even begin, let me just tell you, please look at the links that I will share with you here. Okay? Look at the links. By the way, before I go on, I don't want you to get the impression that I hate anybody or that I discriminate, because I don't. We, God's soldiers, do not discriminate. There's only love in our heart for humanity. We see beyond color. We don't see no color. But then again, we have to understand who God's people are on this playing field called Earth. All right? So with that in mind, let me just warn you. What I'm about to tell you may make you feel uncomfortable. Do not feel uncomfortable. Just keep an open mind. Do your research. Again, do not believe everything I say. Because after all, we have all made mistakes. We are all prisoners of sins. We are all sinners. Okay? All right. Now, let us begin, because this George Floyd's death thing is totally out of control. And I'm going to tell you the evolution of it. Actually, I show you on my couple of my last video. Okay? People play, lay, and slay. And that is exactly what has been happening to our people. But let's keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States and the world has gone to the point of no return in their insatiable insanity. But no marvel, because the United States is the second beast mentioned in the Bible. On Revelation chapter 13 verse 11. The first beast is from the first verse of chapter 13, Revelation chapter 13, from the first verse to 11. The first beast is also described on Revelation chapter 17. I mean, the first beast is spoken of all over the Bible. But let's keep going. Okay, so, but no marvel, because the United States is the second beast mentioned in the Bible on Revelation 13, verse 11. She is also the daughter of Babylon. Babylon being the Roman Catholic Church. She is the mother. That's right, those Jesuits, they're having fun, because they know that America is coming home to roost soon, because they helped push this unrest that are going on all over the planet. Okay? So what I'm telling you here is that the United States is the daughter of Babylon. Babylon being the Roman Catholic Church, whether you want to believe it or not. I really don't care. My job is to tell you and to show you the door. You are the one that's going to have to walk through it. My job is to give you this knowledge, which you will find in the Bible, the instructional book that God left for his human creation. And God is there whenever you look for him and you want him. Here's the reality. Since ancient times, God's people, which also happens to be the African Americans, which is the tribe of Judah, the African Americans descended from the tribe of Judah, amongst the Native Americans, who is the tribe, they are the tribe of God, the Latino, the Hispanic people, which are, you got Issachar, which are the Mexican, Simeon, who happens to be the Dominicans, Levites, Last time I said Levi. It's actually Levi. They are the Haitians, Zebulon, Colombians, and South American countries. Okay? You got Ephraim, Puerto Ricans, Manasseh, Cubans, Benjamin, the Jamaicans, and so on. So here's the reality. Since ancient times, God's people, which also happens to be African Americans, amongst Native Americans, Latino, etc., has been conspired against, has been played, and has been slayed. Just in case you don't believe me, take a look at the history of the KKK, which was created by the Democrats. I call it the Democrats. And now we have come to Black Lives Matter, an organization, a movement which was created by men who is not even from the United States, whose own country don't like him. His country being Hungary. And who happens to hate the United States of America by his own admission. For he is a globalist, pushing the new world order, which happened to be Satan's last stand against God upon this earth. And this gentleman's name, who created Black Lives Matter, is none other. And I know you heard it before, but this is the reality. George Soros. He's also the founder of Antifa. That means he gives them money. He wants to destabilize the United States of America. But the United States of America has been doing that all on her own. In fact, he's just accelerating the process. That's all. But the United States is prophesied to fall. It's prophesied to, because what the United States has done, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, the United States is no longer a country, it's a republic. It's a corporation. Okay? Get that through your thick head, ladies and gentlemen. The United States is a corporation. It's a business. It's a company. It's not a country anymore. Okay. So this gentleman named George Soros, you got Antifa, and he created Antifa, and he also created Black Lives Matter, and of course, he gives reins to according to the race. Antifa, white people control that. Of course, you're not going to find any leader up in there. Why? Because that's how you don't get tracked. That's the secret. That is the devil's way of doing things. You don't find a leader. You cannot arrest a leader. Okay? Black Lives Matter is run by two black ladies. Okay. Now, people have said, oh, they're lesbian. I don't care. I don't care whether they're lesbian or whatever the case may be. I'm here to tell you they are run by two human ladies. Because whatever you are, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to account for on Judgment Day. So this lady can be whatever they want. Let them be. Let them do what they want. I just see two human beings, period. So, this gentleman is pushing for the New World Order, which happens to be Satan's last stand, which is their God, by the way. against God upon this earth, which is the final countdown for the culmination of this final spiritual war for the human mind and spirit. Now, going back to the KK for a little bit. KK was created by Albert Pike. And not, along with the Democrats, they created the KKK. Okay? Let me give you a quick breakdown. First was the civil rights movement in the 1960s, ran by Dr. Martin Luther King. Or should I say, Minister Martin Luther King. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, all religions, all organizations, the media, all of them are controlled by Masons, which is a satanic organization. So the civil rights movement was started. At that time, almost a civil war was breaking out in the United States, because the suffering of the black people was so much, ladies and gentlemen, that a civil war was about to break out. Along, they raised Martin Luther King. After they used him, they killed him. And then they lie telling you who killed him. It wasn't the person that they say that killed him. It's like, for instance, the same thing with Kennedy assassination. 2, the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party was a party created by the CIA again, where the gang culture began. Number 3, the religion game. The religion was a psyop operation again, to keep the people docile. Do not believe in religions, people. Do not get involved in religion. Have a relationship with your Creator. What is the definition of church? It's gathering. You gather with your friends, families, neighbors. You do Bible study. That's a church. And if each of God's people throughout this planet does that, then we are His church. But we are not a church by name. We are a church by deeds, the way we live our lives. Then came the Nation of Islam. And Louis Farrakhan completely hijacked the whole movement. In fact, Mr. Louis Farrakhan took out Malcolm X out the way. You understand? Do you want to know how big the rabbit hole goes? So I'm telling you. Okay? Mr. Louis Farrakhan took out Mr. Malcolm X. Why? Because Malcolm X was a man of principles and a man of truth. The CIA couldn't have that. In fact, Louis Farrakhan is a CIA agent. Believe it or not. As nice as you can hear talk, because that's all they do. They exploit some people's emotions. Religious leaders are expert at that. Politicians have been playing this game for the longest. In fact, the game have been played so well that they make you think, you still believe it to this day, that you got power when you vote. Even a comedian, George Carlin, said it. Vote is to give you the illusion that you have the power. You don't. They decide. They run the whole show. They run the money. Number 5, the Chicago experiment. In fact, I made a video on that. You can look at it. The Chicago experiment, ladies and gentlemen, where drugs and guns is the order of the day, and death in shootings. And again I ask, just like I asked on my last two videos, where's the outrage on that? Where's Black Lives Matter on that? I call them Black Lives Matter. You see? Do you see for what they are? Are you beginning to see, or you are still blinded? I understand. If this is the first time that you're hearing this, I understand you're still blinded. That's how the mind is. Once they get you, once they get your mind, just like the politicians, just like the religious leaders, just like the cult organization, that's it. You are their slaves. 6, the abortion, which was created to destroy the blacks and the Hispanics. The Democrat, by the way, the Democrats supports that. Can you see what's coming down the pipe in terms of Judah's destructions? Do you see how many of our people are going to be killed, ladies and gentlemen? In fact, I may title this video, "The Bait of Self-Destruction," because our people are taking the bait. They are letting themselves go by the emotions. Okay, number 7. And now once again, they are playing us against one another by hijacking George Floyd's death, knowing full well how people were going to react. And just like clockwork, they did by rioting and setting everything on fire. Now, some people say, well, George Floyd's death was planned. The fact of the matter that these people worked together for many years. I'm not saying that it wasn't planned. This is a planned event. Okay, and I'm gonna keep reading. But what I'm saying is that George Floyd was killed. He was sacrificed. I'm going to send you the link. This time I will. Where his father was a Freemason. Okay? And they require human sacrifices. And this man was killed in front of the whole wide world. But it was planned. George Floyd's death, knowing full well how people were going to react. And just like clockwork, they did by rioting and setting up everything. And being that this event was a planned event, it spread just like the pandemic that we are now dealing with, COVID-19, coronavirus. Coincidence? There are no coincidences in life, ladies and gentlemen. After having people locked up in their houses, after having people walk around with masks, as if they are animals, dogs, people were frustrated, they were angry, and then this happened. Don't you see it? Don't you see how you're being played? My hope is, for my people's sake, is for them to wake up. For being asleep for too long by going back to its creator and following the 10 Commandments. See, because the pandemic and this George Floyd's death event goes hand in hand, back to back. This is when you know that it was planned. I'm about to say something else that's going to, in fact, I'm going to send you a link which is going to prove even more that this was a planned event. Okay? Just like the Apostle Paul says, prove all things. Well, I'm about to prove it. Okay? But before I do that, coronavirus was an invented disease. People have died, but not from coronavirus. In fact, they have classified all causes of death as coronavirus. You fall out of an airplane and you fall to the earth in pieces. You fall on top of a rock. They put your body back together again. They run the autopsy in your body, and they will say that you died of coronavirus. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Now, why is the human mind so easy to get? Because when you got people beneath you, when you got people under you, when you see how easy it is to control the human mind, you get power from it. You become like a god. Okay? So here we go. So again, because the pandemic and this George Floyd's event goes hand in hand, this is when you know that it was planned. In fact, take a look at what George Floyd's family law attorney is proposing, calling on a satanic body called the United Nations, a body run by the Rockefellers and the Chinese, a satanic body known for its destruction. These people are soulless human beings. They kill you. They're blue helmet. Look what they've been doing in Haiti. They've been raping people. They've been killing people. These people are evil because their very foundation is evil. Because this is the devil's time. Believe it or not. He's calling on the United Nations to step in to help them on police reform. Are you kidding me? You don't call on no man. You call on your creator. And where's your spiritual foundation? Unfortunately, there are none. Our people are lost. And that's why we are dying we are dropping like flies and dying. Okay? Like there's no tomorrow. But haven't I been telling you about this? I've been telling you about this for the longest. And just like it happened in Guyana with the Jim Jones court, they all drank of the Kool-Aid mixed with cyanide and they all died. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, back in 1978, I believe we was in November 23, over 900 people decided to commit suicide because they were worked by this court called the People's Temple, which the CIA created back in the 1950s. Jim Jones was a CIA agent, believe it or not. 968 people, I believe, died, committed suicide. So now we playing our favorite cards. Here we go. Racism, white supremacists are just bywords to distract us, to distract you from the fact and the reality that black on black crime is the only statistic that always is shooting sky high. And that until we stop blaming the white man for everything and look for our God, our creator, the great I am, we will continue to drop and die like flies. Okay? You don't believe what I just told you? Well, look what happened in Chicago. Just in case you don't believe me. Look what is happening in Chicago. I told you the statistic yesterday. All of a sudden, the whole world wants to take a knee for all of our sufferings through our human history. Well, You know what the Bible says. James chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. So now, all of a sudden, the whole world, politicians, national guardsmen, police officers, anyway, you're going to see, are taking a knee. What does that tell you, people, my people? If you let this happen, you are not a friend of your Creator, the one that you abandoned, the reason that we have been cursed. Just like it says in Deuteronomy chapter 28, read it. We are living the curses. Life is a gift from the Creator. The devil's job is to destroy it. Are you going to let him to destroy your life, to take over your life? Because the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we live in a evil possessed, under a spell, evil spell world. You can sense it. You can smell it in the air. That's why the air we breathe is polluted. The water we drink has what? What they consider what? Fluoride, which destroy your teeth and compromise your immune system. GMOs in our food. Do you think that these people really care about us? In fact, I sent you a link yesterday of Madonna's son, because that's what this lady, she ain't got nothing better to do. She got such an empty life, such a boring life, that she goes around adopting black kids in Africa. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Look, the young man was dancing to a song sung by a man that is still living, talking about they really don't care about us. They're not going to tell you who that they are, because they're not going to tell you that they are the people that run this planet. The people, the very same people for which you will fall victim of. The one that you call the Illuminatis, the Masons, your pastors in your churches. Those are the ones that are going to make you drink out of the Kool-Aid. In fact, you've been drinking the Kool-Aid. Come back to your Creator. Come back to your God before it's too late, because this thing is about to, this whole thing is about to blow up. The United States owes big time to their Creator. Are you going to go down with the United States? or are you going to be set apart by your Creator, just like you should? But anyway, I digress. God bless you, brothers and sisters. I make this video out of love, believe it or not. You can come at me and hate me, but I will still forgive you. I make this so hopefully you will wake up and see how these people will take advantage. Just like the writers that broke into business, that burned down businesses in Minneapolis. Okay? Think about that for a minute. They took advantage. Opportunistic.